Okay, we are running. So I'm just going to do what I did before with Wizard. I'm just going to start by
Ooh,
showing the little view here.
ooh.
Uh, this,
Making us jelly.
yeah. So I'm taking in from San Francisco. I've just been at the Burning Man Global Leadership Conference. So it's been 350, about 400 uh, community leaders from all over the world, from Taiwan and Korea and Japan and South Africa and Czech Republic and London and from all over, I think, like 27 states of America.
Hmm.
And it's been a great weekend of people kind of exchanging ideas, and everyone's doing it so differently, and we're all at different sizes, and we're all have different types of communities where some are very, very artsy, some are very kind of community gathering oriented, some are very more like party oriented, and it's just like they all have very, very different flavors, and there's so much inspiration to be gained from others. And it's one of those places where the Borderland seems pretty fucking awesome because we do things that no one else is doing, and I
Yeah, but
think
that was the
that,
same impression we got in Amsterdam.
yeah, exactly. I mean,
How?
I both get the feeling that wow, there's so many different things that we could be doing, but also the thing that we are doing is different and it's also awesome, and it kind of strengthens my belief in that too. At the same time, I see other things we could do.
How many people from Amsterdam were at this gathering?
Not that many, I think. I mean, a side effect of Burning Man starting to do the European leadership meetups is that the Europeans don't travel over here.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, there was a handful. Maybe apart from the Burning Man org crew, there was probably um, you know 20 Europeans, um,
Mm.
15 maybe. Um, Spain, Czech, uh, UK. John Colander was with me from Sweden.
Hmm.
Two Swedes, about the same thing. Um, okay, um, I'm gonna just see where my little agenda is. So yeah, we are starting with who's here, um, and it's stuff. Um, there was really no previous action points. As I read the agenda, I didn't attend the last meeting, but there didn't seem to be any um, action points coming out of the last meeting. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I guess we have had some action points via mail since last time.
Yeah.
So we could check up on them. Like there's the art grant thing, there's the clown police, there's the
Hmm.
toilets and stuff like that. But I don't know, it just seems like it's moving along very nicely, right?
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna move the only action point that was in there, which was uh, clown police. I'm gonna remove that and put it in later in the agenda. Uh, so okay, so then we got some stuff to go through, and we're just the three of us, so it shouldn't take that long time. Um, Grants. Now we don't have anyone from the art grant group,
Yes, I
but
am.
I'm sorry.
Yes, I am here.
Oh, you are. Can you give us some updates?
Yeah, sure. I mean, we did an intense sort of couple hours just a few days ago, which resulted in the text that Olle posted on the website. And well, we basically have all the information there. Um, yeah, we decided on the different deadlines and so on.
Hmm.
We will try to be very quick about the whole going through the applications thing. We're looking at maybe meeting physically one day, and just going through everything that day, if possible, if we can sync up from different schedules and stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's yeah. I don't know. Do you have any particular questions like that are not addressed in the text?
I think there's one specific question that is the size of the first batch of the art grant, and I think we have to make a decision in this meeting. Our next board meeting is not until in a month, so within that time, we need to know.
But yeah, can we do that even if we're not sufficient number? We're not a sufficient number of people here now to have a majority, right? So we can't.
There's no, in our current bylaws, there's no quorum.
Okay, I thought it was okay, but okay.
Besides, I think it's more important that we get shit done than that we follow rules.
No, I agree. But you could also do some
because
mailing list.
We just need to figure it out, and I think that is the issue, because we actually don't have a budget yet.
Yes, that's pretty good to have.
And it's one of those like, oh yeah, we've sold tickets and everything is like ready, but we haven't gotten to just put together even that first draft of a budget yet. And I didn't realize that till now. So
can we do it as we speak?
I'm just about to do it. So I'm going to be posting a link here soon. With okay. Sharing.
But didn't we do something like a rudimentary budget based on the previous years? Like we just sort of.
Yeah. I mean, not based on previous years. No, we haven't even done that yet.
But last year we did one based on the previous year. I remember like these Excel sheets.
Yeah. So that's exactly what I'm doing right now. So I'm gonna just about to send you. I'm gonna send you a Google Doc link so that all start. Where's the chat thing?
The major difference would be cost of toilets, maybe. I can imagine that would change. But the rest, the electricity, why all that should be linear. We should just be able to scale that up.
Yeah, exactly.
But aren't we hoping that the cost of toilets are included in the art grant thing?
Sorry?
Yes. Toilets would be included in the art grant thing. But we still have to we have to still know a little bit about the basics, like how you would deal with actual shit and stuff. That would be an external cost. We would have to know, sort of what we have to give that toilet project and so.
Yeah.
And then it's the rent of Bostad. I don't remember exactly. Is it 12,000, 14,000? What is it? Danish.
Well, I think can someone check that?
Yeah, I can check the contract.
Thanks. In a way, I like the fact that we're doing this in a board meeting. Okay. You both find the document?
Sorry?
Did you both find the document?
That you posted, yeah, sure.
Yes, I'm looking at it.
Mm. Okay, I'm gonna basically start multiplying things by, I don't know, by 2. What just happened? Oh yeah, we had that, but that was for, we don't need that anymore. Because we
I
know
would
how
say,
many, how,
I would say
we
that
know how many
we
people.
the what do you call it, the safety equipment. I
Yeah?
think we should. I think that curve should be a little higher than the other curves. I don't know. We're just
Okay.
handling more. We're handling more people. There's a structure. There's burnable structures that are not ours. So we need more
Yeah.
fire extinguishers and stuff like that. Um,
Yeah.
and also, like when we're more people, maybe the clown police need to have better. I don't know. Just I don't know. First aid kits or
Yeah. We had that last year.
I don't know, stuff like that. And then there's one thing, yeah, but maybe we need more. Maybe we need I don't know. It just that we don't that budget maybe will rise higher than double, just a little higher, because of the
Yeah.
instructions. Because we don't know what happens when we grow, and we just want to be the security to be. They have to be able to, or we have to be able to do what we have to do to make
Yeah.
it safe, right? And another thing I thought about now, when we're growing, do we need walkie-talkies or something like that?
Yeah.
Is it and who will need them? Is it just clown police and plus one, for instance, one from the board who's on, or do we need them at all? Or
Yeah. Um, I mean, this today is just going to be very, very preliminary. So we know like about where we're going to be with art grants. But yeah, I mean,
can we put it in the budget?
sorry, the
Can we
radio?
put the radio in the budget? We can always take them out again.
There are some, I got recommended from others that, you know, if you want to, um, there's 2 options basically. Either you spend 2,000 crowns for a proper system per 2,000 crowns per unit, or you just buy, there are pretty good working ones. There's like one of the 3,000 people events are using a cheap one from China that costs $20. And then they buy 50% more than they need so that they'll be able to, you know, have backups if they break. But it works well enough for them because they, you know, it covers their needs at the size they're at. So I've actually gotten the name of the how to buy it and which one from China as a recommendation. And then we're looking at, and they're about $20 a piece. So that's not more than, it's maybe say we'll be spending 200 or 300 Swedish crowns to exaggerate, and then to have a few extra we need 10 of them. So I just put in 3,000 crowns here to buy 10 300 crown radios from China. Is that sensible?
Yes.
And I'm going to add safety equipment then, since we started, we would go, So one part about safety equipment is that I think that we should get the clown police and the exit to apply for grants.
Yes.
So we won't necessarily be doing all of the these safety things as its own budget post, but rather, let these guys who are doing this put together their budgets and say, hey, we want to apply for this as part of the grant thing.
Yes, exactly.
Okay,
So that puts all of the work on groups.
Can we maybe
Sorry?
put it into two? Like say that. I think it's. Well, one option could be that there's money for radios and safety and fire, blah blah blah, and then apart from that, if they want to make a clown police helicopter vehicle with horses in front of it, or they want to do some like the whole circus of the clown police, maybe they apply for that, but like as a minimum
I think we're just making it more complicated than it has to be. I mean, if we make everything art and we follow this policy, right, then the exit, for example, or the clown police, they will have to figure out for themselves what do we need to do what we want to do and provide the services that we've signed up to provide. And then they argue for that in their own little budget that they know better than we would anyway. And then they send that into the art grants committee. And the art grant committee will then, go through that and see is this reasonable or not, and then they grant them. And the art grant committee will, of course, make sure that the basic infrastructure needs, like the exit and toilets and companies, that they get their cut first before less non-vital things like an installation somewhere. So it's they start with them, and then they divide the rest of the funds to the remaining projects that are non-vital.
Yeah, I'm with Christian that we might be able to do a bit of both. I mean, we have previously had a budget for safety stuff. So let's just increase that. And I think that if we're buying radios, we should be buying them for the org. So I think that's a post we can put in. But then we will also, on top of that, we will ask everyone else to. So there is a budget, and then we'll have to consider what part of the budget we take out there. And I just think it's, I don't know.
Well, I definitely agree that if we give out many thousands of kroners for radios, then of course they should belong to the org. But you can also specify that in communication with the different projects. I do think it's good to outsource as much as possible to the projects themselves, rather than to It's a bit vague, I think, that we have our own little security budget, but there's still another separate security or whatever project, and then I think we should follow this everything's art idea. See where it takes us.
Yeah.
It's a radical idea.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I will take that to maybe I will take that to Andreas, because I promised to start up the clown police at last meeting or something. He got ahead of me and started up, so it's just totally great. As soon as he had the ticket, he was onto it. So I'll just be in contact with him, also show him the what do you call it, the contract, right? And I was at some point set up a meeting with him or some other from the clown police and the police and the fire department to put a face on us and talk about what we potentially are facing and how they would like it to be, and then I will just ask him to consider that the clown police see everything as art, also the fire extinguishers, and see how he feels about that. Okay.
But yeah. So I think
we just need to be if for some reason they missed the art grant deadline, we just have to save some money for that stuff or whatever.
So that's I think that's the reason why there should be a budget that's separate from this, because last year we realized 2 weeks before the event that, oh shit, we needed these med kits, and then Henrik stepped up and bought them and got them refunded. But then we had money in the bank because we had a little budget for that, while the art grants were already given out, like long time ago.
Oh yeah, but of course we should have some margins, some reserves for unexpected expenses. That's given. I mean,
but now
but
we're ahead on this. So I think if it could work, I think it would be funny to test what the companies say about this, because it's radical to take the art, everything is art so far, and then see how it works. Just watch it closely. I don't know. I would be up for that. I'm also up for a more strict test that we put for the, and then that's it. Give it to them. If they want to apply for costumes or whatever, they can do that separately. I'm up for both, actually.
In the first art grants batch, we're not gonna give out. Or are you planning on doing several batches, Hampus?
Sorry?
Are you planning on doing several batches of art grants, or are you going to give out all of it at the same time?
No, all at the same time, I think.
Okay, because previous years we've had several batches.
Yeah.
And that's partly because we've, as we progress, we realize how much money we have in the bank, and then we give out more money. But in that case,
but that's when we haven't sold out. Now we know exactly how much money we have.
Okay. So then in my mind, we need more of a backup, because we're already now giving out shitloads of money. So then we need more of a backup in the account in the case that, we realize that, oh, we need this and we need this.
Yeah.
So in the budget now, I've doubled the safety equipment. I added the radio. I doubled the power. I doubled the porta potties, and I doubled the bracelet cost. And then I put in another 20,000 for Övrig, like unforeseen costs. So we know that we have a good margin. Within this, we have a good margin. So we're looking at now art grants being about 50% of the budget, or 120. Maybe give out 125,000 in art grants. I would love to give out another 50, but I'm not ready to do that now, and I rather have like last-minute art grant announcement that we do in June, because we realize we have 50K in the account.
Yeah, sure. If we, as long as we make our best to sort of go above 50%, then yeah, sure.
So does 125,000 sound like a good budget for the initial grant process?
Yeah, but what do you know exactly how much we paid out last year in percent in our grants?
Okay, documents.
I mean, just symbolically, it would be nice to at least not, go down in the percentage.
Oh, we will have to go down, because we have some things that are just expanding, not at the rate we are increasing sales.
Like what? We doubled. Yeah, the rent, I guess, and what else?
Yeah, no, the rent went from 4,000 to 15,000.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So the rent.
And then we and then we need this buffer, and that's another 20,000. So together, that's like.
But also, wait, don't we already have existing funds also? We have a surplus from previous years.
Yes, we do.
So that should also be taken into account into the whole margin.
Yeah.
And also we have to think about how, I don't know if we have good data on that, but like there was many projects, art grants, that were never materialized, or they never got their payments, or they never claimed their payments, and so on. So I mean, that was a fairly big percentage. I don't know if it was like 20% or something of the art grants that were never paid out. So we should also calculate on a certain percentage. I mean, we should have margins there too, so we don't sort of speculate too much. But like we could I think we can safely say that 10% of the art grants will not be paid out and so.
Yeah, that is true. I'm trying to find the economy for last year.
I have a stupid question. How many people were we last year? 300 or 250?
300.
No, but
yeah, we're 300, right? So
yeah,
there also been talks about growing 100%, and maybe and I don't know, are we stuck with 500 or? Maybe it's a stupid question.
But yeah,
I just don't remember how it ended on 500 and not 600, because it was 600 was also mentioned. But maybe we should take that on a board meeting where we are more people. I'm just saying, if we want, I know it's the same song. Further down the road, we want to release another 50, another 100, if we feel secure about everything.
I'm not completely comfortable with that, because it seems inconsistent. Because we were very clear this time that this is it. This is the last chance.
Yeah, we did have. I mean, regardless of what one individual might think of the decision, we did agree on it. We did decide on 500, and that was like
okay.
And it was a very long discussion, and we've been discussing it for months. I think it's
okay.
We should once we decide.
Cool.
So last year we gave out 73% of the budget in art grants.
Yeah. Okay.
And now we're talking about giving 50.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, symbolically, it would be nice to not go down so much, and I would. But also, Christian, I mean, maybe Gustav, but we weren't actually 300 people, right? I mean, I know the app crashed, so you lost the amount of.
Yeah. I think.
But
it wasn't that many people that didn't show up. I mean, we're talking about less than 20.
No, but that's also an explanation of how the budget is, how we have 50. Because if we didn't increase the members with 100%, that double up, and we're doubling up on everything, all the costs, then of course
we should actually
it will be 50 instead of 40.
Yeah, exactly. That's
we should just increase it with 67%, really. So should I do that?
Yeah, well, let's take them individually, because toilets, it's a total, it's another ball game.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe actually.
Yes, exactly. The toilet is a big question mark here, because we're in a whole new country, different systems and solutions for how to deal with poo. I mean, it might be more expensive, might be a lot more cheaper. We really don't know.
What I mean is that we have Matthias charging to build toilets.
Yeah, but that's well. Of course, we get increased cost from actually building the toilets, but I mean, the what cost us last year was is the whole the logistics, having the what's it called, the municipalities, whatever, and picking up the shit, the full buckets and so on. I mean, we paid, was it 70 kroners per bucket or something? Yeah, so it's that's the.
So I don't think it's going to be cheaper this year. I think it's going to be more expensive, because I think we're going to be using porta potties. The local municipality in Bostad put out porta potties, and they have a pretty interesting model where they're zip tied down, and unless you break that seal, you don't have to pay for them. So you can actually have some extra out there, and if they're full or whatever, you can just close them down and you can open another one up, and then you pay for it. So
but that's also it's good if people just don't break it because they don't want to wait for 1 minute.
So we'll actually have to put locks on or put a little sign on.
Yeah.
It costs money to open.
But isn't that all up to the toilet crew to take that in consideration?
Which toilet crew?
Like he is starting up an
Sorry?
art grant, building toilets art grant thing, right?
Yeah. So, so do you know anyone who's doing this, or do you think anyone will be? Because
Matthias.
it's one.
Yeah, Matthias, it's his pet project.
Okay.
So maybe we should maybe ask him.
I still think there should be a significant post in the budget about this, and not have that as given to be as part of the art grants.
Definitely. I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, of course the cost will increase. I was just speculating that they might not double, but we don't know. I mean,
and the thing is, if we announce that we're giving out 150,000 in art grants, if Matthias puts in a project that we're gonna put art toilets there for 30K, then we can use the toilet budget for that, and then say that we ended up doing more than 150,000 in art grants. So we can always scale up, but it's harder to scale down.
Yeah, that's true.
So, do anyone have a different proposal than 125? 125 is 50% of the budget to be given out now. We can always give out more later, or just approve more art grants than for 125,000. But it's nice to know that there is a budget for the art grant group, and that's something that we can announce. Should we scale it up to 150?
No, let's start with 125. I think that's wise.
Yeah. Sorry. Okay, so I'm gonna write in.
Wait, I'm going to also check what was actually in the document, because at one point there was a number mentioned. We might have to change that.
Yeah, good. You check that. Okay. Are we still waiting for?
Are we waiting for someone? I didn't know we were waiting.
I thought we were waiting for you to check in the document.
Yeah, but I mean,
there was.
Yes, I am checking it, but you don't have to wait for it. I mean,
yeah, I thought we were waiting for something. Okay, so the next thing is the operational plan. And I know there was an action point for Isadora a couple of months back to actually put together a complete list of everything that needs to be done. But I can't find that. Did she ever do that? She said there was like some old document there. Yeah, do anyone have this? Yeah.
Just one little thing that I want to address before we close the budget thing. Power. One thing that takes a lot of power is big speakers. We have the possibility of somebody saying, "Hey, I want to do some techno all night long." That's going to eat a lot of power, and also somebody might want to light up the dome, and that's also a big power consumer. So I would raise that a little more than from 8 to 13 or whatever it was.
Yeah, probably. Also, I don't know.
How much did you spend last year? Do you know?
Power? How much power?
Hmm.
No, I don't remember. Um,
It can be a party pooper killer.
yeah, I'm not really. I'm not that worried. I mean, the power cost. I mean, it's somewhere around 8,000 there. But the majority of it, I think, like out of those 8,000 is the power grid.
Hmm.
So used power was actually just 3,000, something like 3,000 last year.
Greatness.
So the
Moving
power
on.
budget includes the big things, and those are predictable. Okay, so next point is that grand list of things to do, or I named it into grand list of important things that everyone reviews, also known as glitter. And I just started because I couldn't find, so here's a link. I couldn't find any other list. If you guys know any other lists that we've already started, then please help me find that. I couldn't find one, so I just started one for now. I would want in the next week that everyone in the board tries to fill this with as many things that we think needs to be done as possible, and then we put it out to the community, so that there's just it's not about necessarily assigning tasks for everything. It's just providing a visibility that's an inspiration for art grants, that's an inspiration for preparation for theme camps. That's just like, okay, so these are the problems that the community will have in general. Maybe this is something that I can help solve. So just kind of centralizing all the important have-tos in one place. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
There's a link to a document, or what? I'm not sure. I'm getting it.
I posted it in the comment section in the this Hangout here. But I just put 8 things in there. I just wanted a document to just start writing something. So this is what I did just to get started. And there's so many things that you know, plan.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Can we do it on a timeline or something like that?
Right?
I think it's great to have the list, but for instance, many of the things, let's say there are 10 things that will be clown police stuff, right? Then the clown police has to figure out.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, so this list is not. I'm not thinking that this is a list of things that someone will be responsible for everything getting it done. It's just a way of visualizing to the community what needs to be done. So if someone out there wants to, like, hey, I want to do something, they can go into this list and say, hey, this needs to be done. Then they can go to the Facebook group and say, hey, is anyone solving this power thing? And then someone will say, like, no, I don't think so. Okay, I'll do it. So just it's a collaborative brainstorming document to visualize.
I get it. It's just put up. There's just the parts who's responsible for it. That comes for somebody put in their own name, but it's many of the things is more kind of a group.
Yeah.
And it just like I think we have to be careful not to fall in the trap that other people are doing, that they're handing out tasks, even though we try.
So this it should never be an assignment in this list. This is just for people who want to contribute, who want to find you know, what needs to be done. So so it now says responsible group or person. So we could, for example, write that fire extinguishers are the job of the clown police, or you know, first aid kits is the responsible exit is doing that. Well, I shouldn't be writing it, but you guys could go in and say, oh, exit, yeah, our camp can take responsibility for this. Okay, but I'll send that out to the board list.
But just to get it clear, you want this to be on Facebook, right, in the group?
Yeah, I want to send it out on the board list first so that we have a swing at it, and then when it has some more stuff in it, we'll send it out to the Facebook group and say, you know, add things, change things, you know, contribute in any way you want.
Yeah.
Will be sent out to board list.
Can also be a page on the wiki.
Posted. Yeah, that's actually I have created a page on the wiki for it. I just haven't started filling it out yet. So maybe the wiki is a better way of doing it. So
yeah, I think
I'll
we should
probably then converted to wiki. I'll take on that task. First, we have it sent out on the board list, then boiling it down to the wiki as the wiki is done. Okay, we need to step this up. Communications. Do you want to say something about that, Hampus?
No, not so much, not specifically. We still need to get more people involved creating the blog, which is the main thing.
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, there's a lot of noise in the background there. Yeah, I mean, the communication-wise, it works good. Yeah. What's happening? Is it in the background of you?
No, Christian just muted his phone. It's fine.
No. Yeah, it worked out really well with you know, the sort of what we did with the art grants committee. So I don't know. I don't see a huge thing with that at the moment, but we do need to get more people in on the blog if that's going to happen. More.
I'm still personally not that engaged in the blog, which means that I'm not going to be pushing it. So if it happens, it happens. And it's very easy to add a blog to the web page. So if, as I said before, if there's content, I'll open up the blog.
Yeah, and we would make sure that there's not just one post, but you know, several, so we can have something.
Yeah, so we can start scheduling them. You know?
Yeah.
Okay. I put up a wiki. Have you guys checked out the wiki?
Yep.
Do you think it will be used?
I really hope so. I will try to pull my straw in the pile or whatever. Put my straw in the pile. But yeah, I hope so. It's a really great idea, and hopefully, you know, thanks to all the work of visual editor and stuff, it's really not that hard to do. So I hope that we get more people doing it.
I still have the problem with my server crashes after a certain number of uses. So it kind of something builds up over time, and after a while the server crashes.
That's
and I'm going to try to figure that out. Daniel has put up a clone on his server. The problem is that his is really, really slow. When I press the edit button, it takes me 30 seconds for it to launch. And that's not really workable either.
But can't we just get a better hosting provider for us? I mean, can't we just...
then we have to use another software. MediaWiki is self-hosted, and the visual editor, the what you see, what you get editor for MediaWiki, is still in a development experimental phase, which means that there's no way you can get it unless you self-host, because we need to have the experimental build of both, the alpha build of both MediaWiki and the visual editor. But I mean,
can't we? I mean, we have to inside our network. especially since we have so many sort of IT people. There must be people that can sort of help us with a semi-professional but yet still self-hosted, sort of on a really good backbone kind of. I mean, we should be able to get our own good server on a really.
Yeah. Well, it's about how to set that server up. I mean, Daniel is pretty competent, and so am I, but we've just failed to set this thing up.
So it's not an issue of connection or hardware limitations or something like that. It's just
no. It's no.
software,
I mean, his might be. Mine is a scalable cloud server, so there's not a power issue. There's just, I don't know why there's a memory leak somewhere in the setup. But it is, it is an alpha build, and it is really hard to. It takes a lot of time to understand a software that's in that much of a changeable state, to understand where the problem is and what's going on, especially when you're new in the community.
But does it help if we try to enlist like someone who really knows? There's like a computer engineer or something. Would that help, or?
The problem is that preferably someone with experience of the software, because it's going to take him the same amount of time to figure out the thing. It's time.
It's more. This really has nothing to do with how competency above a certain threshold. It's just a matter of time going through code or something, or what?
Time to systematically go through. Could it be this thing that's wrong? Could it be this thing that's wrong? Reading log files, experimenting, trying this thing instead, that kind of thing.
So what have you decided? Are you going to do it, or?
So I will try to do it with mine. Daniel will try to do it with his, and whoever figures it out first will go with. At the same time, I'm also going to reach out to the Burning Man community and ask if there's any other options or solutions that are suggested to do wiki. And I'm going to do that right as we finish this. I'm going to do another swing at the wiki today.
Yeah, it sounds like a good idea. I mean, there should be other regionals that are interested in having a wiki, and then we can.
Yeah, I mean, there are regionals that have wikis.
Yeah. With visual editor.
Not with visual editor.
Okay. I can imagine Midburn might be a good community to address. They seem to be really into building their own.
I'm gonna address the Burning Man technology group.
Yeah.
Community technology group. I went to some of the seminars for the technology group. Okay. Next point is survival guide. Should we set someone to be responsible for that process and to set a deadline when this needs to be solidified and kind of put out?
Yeah, sure.
Now, there's only 3 of us. Do any one of you guys want to be responsible for the survival guide? Because otherwise, we need to do a call out to a larger community to find someone to be responsible for it.
I can't take it on. I have too many other things already.
Okay. So should we make it?
The survival guide, wouldn't that be part of communication, which leads to the question, do we need more people in the communication group?
Yeah, it is part of the communication. I mean, I know Isadora has. She seemed to be engaged in the survival guide, I guess. She was last year. Anyway. I don't know. We can ask her. There's other people. I think we should also go to the community. We do have. I mean, Kim has promised to do the whole sort of putting it together visually and the design of it, as long as
she also promised to do a logo, and she hasn't.
Yeah, I know that. I'm just saying what.
Yeah.
What she said.
Uh,
Anders, do you need help to rattle up some more communication people, or some more communication people actually doing something, or?
I don't know. I can. I'll try just making a post about it. See if we can find some people. I'll do that now, and then we'll see what happens. We can return to it in a couple of weeks. Or something.
Yeah.
Depending on when we set the deadline. I mean. But I'll take the.
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Next point is clown police report. Do you have anything you want to say?
No, I'm fine. Yeah, just that Andreas took lead, and I'll check in with him. I just sent him the contract while we spoke, so we can check out that, because I've been talking to him about that we have to exchange information. Like, we have to find out what security measures have to be taken, what are the rules, what can be done, what cannot be done. That all the clown police need to know these things. So I will be in dialogue with him about that. I'm still our contact person towards the Boosdale association. But I hope that he and the rest of the clowns will take that information in and make that part of being a clown police. That's my plan. And I will be clowning a little myself, I think, some way or another. But for now, I'm just trying to see if it happens by itself.
Yeah. Andreas, I think Andreas did some great work last year, and I have faith in him. So but it's good that you're there and you're kind of checking in, and you have, so that the board has some kind of representation in that community. Next thing is first aid station, it says, or nowadays called Exit. Do you want to say anything about that, Hampus?
Yeah, it feels really good. I mean, already I have, my mother is coming. She's MD in psychiatry and also in general medicine. Then we have Henrik, who's really engaged in it, and as you know, maybe he's an expert in like low-tech medicine, wilderness. So he'll be bringing a lot of equipment and knowledge. He's also bringing his friend Eric, who is into similar things, also a doctor. Then my sister will be there. She's a nurse and so on. And I've also gotten a guy called Johan involved, who's attending Borderland for the first time, and he's been thinking about sort of doing Sendo type project work, for several years. We discussed it previously in other sort of situations, and yeah, he's going to be part of it as well. And I'm now sort of trying to get more people involved. I'm going to focus primarily on getting enough doctors, ideally one per day, so that we would have a total of 6 or 7 doctors, so that no one feels like overwhelmed with having to stay sober and whatever.
Yeah.
For too many hours of the Borderland experience. So there'll be there will be at least one sober doctor on call, and then there'll be people 24/7 in this tent/structure, depending on what we do there. It's going to be either like an army tent kind of setup, or it'll be an actual wooden structure that we build together and custom made. It'll probably be built by Europe.
There is, and this goes for both Clown Police and Exit. There is this other building.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
There is a building that's just next to the pyramid. That's the old warehouse kind of or workshop building, and I think that is something that might be suitable for being used for something like community information center, maybe have the Clown Police headquarters there, maybe have exit either in there or close to there. Maybe just have, if you build something, build it behind there, so you have like an official, there's a way in, but maybe you don't want, because you want to get away a little bit with exit, right? You want to have one tent that's kind of a safe zone. But then you might want to have information about exit in that building, so that it kind of, this is how you find your way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It just it's good if both the Clown Police and Exit think about the fact that this building is probably a good kind of community center to interact with.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it doesn't really have walls and stuff, but yeah, it's a good idea. But it's another issue is
it has 2 walls and it has a roof.
It has a roof that might work.
Yeah,
there's holes.
But I mean, I think it's excellent.
No, but I think
it's excellent for a Clown Police station.
Yeah.
/ community information center.
Yeah. No, I agree.
To have a lost and found there, to have a big whiteboard with schedules, that kind of thing.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. But the only thing with the exit is we also have, then don't we have access to that other building which is far, it's above the gates, the parking lot?
I would say that's a better place because it's kind of I don't know, it's just there'll be water running and there will be no water coming down the roof whatever happens, and like
so I just hear what Hampus said. Can I?
Yeah, and there's this other building, the low, long building, rectangular, where the gate is, where the actual gate, with the parking lot.
We don't have access to those buildings.
Are you sure?
Yeah. That belongs to the local fishermen association.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So we only have access to the handicapped toilet up there. That's the only part of the building we have access to.
Okay, I just remember something from Michael. He said that you can get access to blah blah something, but maybe that was just mentioning that we can use it to get water and stuff. But
yeah, we can get water up there, and there's a toilet and a shower we can use, but we can't.
If you want, I'll check it. If you want, I'll check in with him just to be sure. Because I don't know. In my mind, it was also a possibility, but I might have misunderstood it.
Yeah, we can double check that. That's good. I think either way, I don't think the Clown Police and the information center should be there because it's too far away from where everything is going.
Yeah, I agree.
Like up a hill, it's not very central.
No, but it's still good to know what we have at our disposal.
Yeah. So if you can follow up on that, Christian.
I'll do that. Hampus, would it make sense for you to tell Andreas about your plans?
Yeah, of course. I mean, the Clown Police will be sort of our extended. We'll work very closely together. So. Yeah.
Okay.
I can. I'll invite Andreas to the group, so he'll know.
Yeah, good. You can use. Okay, so next thing is gate perimeter. It seems a little bit. So if we look at the border project from last year, the 4 people who were driving this were me, Michael, Jasper, and Frederick. And Malin did a significant part of it too. Now, Malin has a restaurant project she wants to do. Jasper and Michael are engaged in they're building an art car, and Frederick isn't coming. So out of the people who were core in that camp last year, I'm the only one left. And I'm more into doing like an art project this year, something big and pretty, rather than to do a function thing at the gate. So we currently don't have anyone spearheading or taking initiative on how to do gate check-in, that kind of thing. That maybe as a part of, that's something that maybe I should just write in the Facebook group saying, hey, this is a good idea to apply for an art grant to do if you want to do an amazing greeting experience for people. That option is available. If you do that, I mean, the container is up by the road. It's placed just around the corner from the main gate. And that also means when you're up there, you're going to be the one having access to water and bathroom and maybe even this, if we can use that space in that building that Christian is checking. So, I mean, there are some some free things that you will get from doing this project if you want to do it. So maybe just throw that out to the community and hope that someone will step up, because right now there's nothing much going on. And I just wanted to let you know that I'm not on top of this, because, yeah.
Yeah. You're not on top of the border, basically. That's bottom line.
That's great. Make a post and see what happens. If nothing happens, then we as the board have to make it happen some way or the other.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's a very good... just maybe describe a small history, what happened last year, the role it filled, that just communicate all the advantages that.
Yeah. I will do that.
Yeah.
The only thing that's left here now is community questions. I don't think there's been any. Yeah, there hasn't been any comments on the thread asking for us to bring up anything special, except get more tickets next year. So, do you guys have anything else you want to bring up in this meeting, or are we done?
Not that I remember at the moment.
Yeah, I feel very comfortable in where we're heading, and I think there's a lot of things going on in different pods and communities. I'm very confident with the fact that Andreas is doing Clown Police and Christian is involved in that, and that you Hampus is doing the exit thing. That feels very very nice. It gives me a lot of faith for what's going on.
Yeah, there's one thing I would like to discuss. It's how to treat the pyramid. I mean, I started that discussion in the Facebook group. But sooner or later, there will have to be some sort of a community decision on what direction to go in. I've together with Keith and some other people, we're working on this suggestion, which is the sort of the maze that I've been describing, which I think could be a cool sort of project. Also, something that everyone can contribute to, an easy way. But no one can claim that the pyramid, so it has to be something that the community feel like they actually want to do, and so. But sooner or later there has to be some sort of a process for that type of decision.
Couldn't we just can we say, okay, the pyramid, let's see what happens with the art grants. How many art grants actually want to do stuff in the pyramid? And then when we have them at hand, we see, okay, there are 5 projects, or maybe there are none. Then we try, okay, can these be implemented in a maze or in whatever, or and so have you did some brainstorming on a maze and other stuff, have it prepared, have it on the shelf ready to take down, but let's see what happens with the art grants first.
So yeah, but the maze is an art grant too, so the first thing is, I don't think there needs to be a community decision on this. I think there needs to be, if people show up and start doing things, it will become natural as we're on location creating that, oh, you brought this, well, I brought this. Okay, let's put these together in this way. It doesn't have to be a a committee or a process for decision making. It will be apparent as we get there what will be suitable. And if you want to, Hampus, if you want to do a project where you build all walls, these weird white maze walls, then just do it. And when we come there, we're gonna see how that fits in and what happens with that. And that's going to be exciting, the fact that we don't really know who else is at the same time going to bring something else.
Yeah, but it's not really that.
To me, it's one of those where, unless we shouldn't be making this decision at all, unless we think that it's, threatening the community, someone will die. It's not about it's not an essential question that needs to be a decision that needs to be made. I think it's our responsibility to leave it to be emergent.
Yeah, but there's still these issues that real issues that we have to address. Like, will we allow people camping inside? What types of claims can you do to? Because it is something that is dramatically changing the conditions from Hide. We have this massive sort of building which is completely amazing, it's very unique, has its own gravity, things tend to pull towards it, has a very special acoustics, so on and so forth. It's like, I see where you're coming from, and I generally agree with that sentiment in most cases, but I also think that the pyramid it offers both challenges and both benefits and sort of, yeah.
Yeah,
but it's the first year with the pyramid.
It's just that we are making those problems up now because we don't actually know if they exist until we're there. So sitting here in a meeting and talking about medical problems that we don't actually know are there.
But that's what Christian said. I get your point. You don't need to go through the whole thing.
Yeah, but
what Christian said was that we should wait, and I said okay, but if there will be 10 art projects, some that want to be completely silent, others that are like 24/7 raves, and they want to be 10 meters from each other inside the dome with that acoustics, it's not going to work. So then we will have a problem. Then we have to.
Well, then they will have to talk to each other.
Yeah.
We get 2 art grants that we see. Oh, these are conflicting. Then we write them an email saying, hey, you guys, these are your art grants. Can you take a look at each other's things so that you guys can collaborate? Because it shouldn't be, at any point, we shouldn't have like a community decision on it. We should just inform people that if we notice that, okay, you're trying to make this quiet and you're trying to make this loud, you obviously have to talk to each other. And if it comes to a place where those 2 forces in the community can't negotiate, then we bring in conflict resolution. We still don't bring in democracy, a process, or authority, or community decision making. We bring in conversation, and we bring in conflict resolution if conversation fails. But
that's a policy. Then that's a clear decision in a way. And that's the way I want it.
Okay.
Then we more or less know how to deal with it.
So I think. So maybe the takeaway there is then to give an instruction to the art grant group that make sure that if you find art grants that seem to be conflicting when it comes to location in time or space or whatever, or intention, then get to those 2 communities to talk to each other as soon as possible.
Well, the main point what I want to get across is that this should be like in people's minds. There should be sort of awareness of this, this issue might come up, so you have already sort of established sort of a line of thought about it, so it's not something that just comes from out of the blue, because I think it is a big
you were the one posting the what to do about the pyramid post. Would it be good that you also post, okay, we are setting it free for now unless we have to step in? That
would be a bit like going against what we just said, I think. I mean, if we want to genuinely just see what happens, then we should just see what happens. I just want maybe the people in the art grants committee and I mean to be aware of it. But it's good. We have sort of a policy of non-intervention. That is our policy. Good. Let's try it. Let's try it.
Yeah. With an eye on it.
Yeah. I think it's good to be aware of it because I think it's going to be effective.
Yeah. Greatness. Cool.
Yeah.
Is that it?
I think we're done.
Yoo-hoo.
We had no one watching this time, and we had 3 people in the meeting. But I'm still very happy that we're. Yeah, that's one thing I mentioned this a couple of times, that we are doing our Google Hangouts public, and they're like, people are like, well, how can you do that? What if there's a sensitive matter? Like, yeah, but then we can turn it off. But I think it's very. I'm very proud that we do this transparency by default, despite the fact that a lot of the times no one's watching, or but the fact that we get used to doing things transparently instead of having to make an effort afterwards to be transparent.
Yeah, of course.
So thank you for being here, Christian. Thank you for eating spaghetti on video publicly online. It's
cool. Have
that,
a good
my
one.
friends, is Arch. Thank you so much.
Ciao.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
I'll see
you.
you soon.